This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. Let's go ahead and open up that waiting room. Let everybody in as we are in for another amazing day of shared information that is empowering to you as an individual. I think empowering is a very important word. So many times that we become dependent on something or someone else. But when we're empowered to take things upon ourselves and take action upon our own doing, especially when we have knowledge, it is so freeing, folks. And today we're going to be bringing hope in ways that you can be empowered to help yourself and those you love. And today we're going to be focusing on those who exercise, whether it's a little bit or just a plain out, full blown, go for it athlete, as there is a lot of information out there that doesn't necessarily fill all the gaps. So today we're going to be talking about how exercise can kill, the shocking truth about nutrition depletion, and how exercise actually contributes to that depletion. So be prepared to take notes. If you are on one of our live streams and watching us remotely, wherever you are, whether it's live or a replay, please let us know that you are there. Give us some love. Make sure that you subscribe to our channels or our pages, whichever platform you're using. And if there's a way to comment, let us know where you're joining us from. We absolutely love to see the reach of where we are. And most of all, share this with somebody you know. If you've got a page or an account on one of the social media platforms, share it to your page. And if you would like to join our team and be able to use that share to help create not just an extra income, but an extra point of knowing that you are doing something to help others, make sure that you give us a call at 859-449-3377. I have an amazing team there, and let them know that you want to be part of the team. So folks, this program is being sponsored by Daily with Doc. My name again is Becca Dukes. I am the assistant to Dr. Wallach. I'm also the director of student services for the Institute of Holistic Health, and I am a leader in helping coaches learn how they can coach others to finding a better health journey and finding success on that health journey. So if you are looking to be a coach and you want to join the coach program, about that at Coach with Doc, that's Coach with DOC.com, and you'll find more information about the Certified Holistic Health Coach course offered by the Institute of Holistic Health, where Dr. Wallach is one of the 3 founding fathers. So what else am I thinking? Oh, most importantly, if somebody shared this program with you, make sure that you get back with them. They took the time and cared enough about you to share this program with you. So get back with them, tell them thank you and what you learned or liked best about the program today. Now, the doctor that we have on with us is one of the, like I said, founding fathers or founders, co-founders of the Institute of Holistic Health, but he's more importantly, one of the founding fathers of a science called epigenetics. Epigenetics is the science that proves the genetic theory of disease transmission to be incorrect. And he, through all of his research, he even wrote a book on that called Epigenetics, the Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. And you'll see Dr. Wallach there, this little Reese monkey, which was one of the first things that he had found to discredit, said to be a human disease, and not just a human disease, but a genetic disease. And he proved both of those theories to be incorrect. Another thing was, they said that it could not be rectified, removed. Once you have it, you always got it. He proved them wrong on that as well. So we are super excited to be able to have this doctor with us. This is Dr. Joel Wallach. He has a Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Sciences. He has a doctorate in veterinary medicine. He has 3 postdoctorates in pathology, where he has performed or been part of almost 30,000 autopsies on 452 different species, including one study alone on 1,700 children aged 10 or under that suddenly passed away. Well, as a pathologist, they look at so many different factors, including at the cellular level, not just what they see with their eyes, but doing testing and slides and chemical testing and mineral composition testing. And he took all that information and he connected the dots, deficiencies, like he found in the animal world. There were diseases. He actually found that there's over 600 different poor health conditions directly linked to nutritional deficiencies. So in topic where we're talking about exercise and the shocking truth about the nutrition depletion, you're going to learn more about how it is that exercise contributes to depletion, but most importantly, what we can do as empowered individuals to be able to avoid or correct those deficiencies within our own bodies. So folks, it is my honor and privilege to be able to bring to the screen with me the one and only, the man that I heard on the radio 8 years ago now, that when I took action on what he was and when I listened and it just made sense, it changed my life and actually gave me my life back, allowed me to be able to remove 13 different poor health conditions, or was it 17? Poor health conditions, way too many, and not have to have them in my life anymore. Dr. Joel Wallach, welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. Thank you for being our doc.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, for making all this information available to the general public. We can save thousands, no tens of thousands, no hundreds of thousands of people every year with this information. I cannot thank you enough for making sure it gets out there to people.
Well, Dr. Wallach, this topic is something that goes way, way back for you, as something has been part of your life, even as a child, with your father being a bantamweight boxing champion. You spent a lot of time hanging out with him, not just on the farm, and going to the gym and seeing him train and being around others that were training. So that just kind of started you off in the whole sports realm, because even in high school I mean, you had some challenges as a child, but you were able to overcome those challenges through nutrition and be very productive and active in team sports. So share with us a little bit, Dr. Wallach, through your research, how you identified the importance of one, exercise, but most important, being intentional on supplementing. Because what does exercise do?
Okay, well, exercise helps circulation, gets sent around the body and so forth. And you remember in the old days, we're talking thousands of years ago, you had to be able to run faster than the animals you ate because you had to run and catch them. And okay, and so we were built to be very physical in our food acquisition, our food production, and in our daily lives of production and building and cutting wood for heat and all this kind of stuff. We needed to have very good physical and biochemical health. Well, the CD, exercise without supplementation is suicide. The CD, exercise without supplementation is suicide. Every family should get about 10 of those. You get a nice discount when you buy 10 and get them to your kids.
Let me know what that is, Dr. Wallach.
Oh, the disease of exotic animals? No.
No.
Exercise.
So several years ago, when Dr. Wallach was on the road, he was on the road 300 days a year doing lectures around the world. And one of these lectures, somebody was brilliant and recorded this lecture so that we all could hear it now today. And that lecture was called Exercise Without Supplementation is Suicide. So that's what Dr. Wallach is referring to. That is available on a CD. I don't remember if it's a CD or a DVD movie that is offered through Wellness Publications. You can go to drjwallach.com and get your own copy of Suicide Without Supplementation, or Dead Athletes Don't Lie is what it is. And it's Suicide Without Supplementation, or Exercise Without Supplementation is Suicide.
Yeah, the title
Yes.
is Exercise Without Supplementation is Suicide. Some of the most famous athletes in the modern world are dying in their 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. I mean, we're talking about runners, we're talking about football players, we're talking about baseball players, we're talking about soccer players, we're talking about boxers, we're talking about weightlifters, we're talking about every kind of athlete you can think of dying in their prime of heart attacks, ruptured aneurysms, blood clots, all these simple things because they're sweating and they're sweating out all the nutrients. And so the ones who took supplements did okay. And so this is where I started. You know, I only weighed 123 pounds when I was in 6th, 8th grade, in junior high and high school. And I'm playing football. I'm wrestling. Of course, wrestling, I was wrestling in my weight class. But in football, I'm only 115 when I started, 123 pounds after gaining some muscle weight. I'm playing against guys. I'm on the line. I'm a center. I'm in the background. Okay. And it's one of those things where I'm tackling these 250-pound guys running 100 miles an hour at you. Okay. And it freaks them out. Who's this little guy? Okay. But I'm taking the nutrients and they aren't. Okay. And that made all the difference in the world. And so it just came out that there's some very famous athletes that died, a couple of them at the same time or in the same month. And so people said, what is going on here? So it came out with the CD and it lists about, I think it's about 15 very famous, world famous athletes in various sports who died in their 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s of heart attacks. and ruptured aneurysms and blood clots and so forth. And all very simple nutritional deficiency diseases because they were eating energy things. They're eating, lots of spaghetti, made from wheat and or rice or whatever. And they're getting all these calories, but they weren't getting any nutritional support. Okay. So it's one of those things where I'm just a kid, but I was able to pay for all my college fees. I was working in the pathology labs. So I'm seeing all these humans and animals, dead bodies of humans and animals. And it's one of those things where, it's like 30,000 humans, okay, that I did autopsies on. And then also, it was when it came to animals, okay, it was, depending on if you're talking about species, you're talking about total numbers, we're talking about, I think it was like 170, 17,000, 17,000 autopsies on animals over, let's see here, 420 species, okay? And these are all published. They're irrefutable, all published. And you can go to, just go to your computer and ask your computer to give you Dr. Wallach's CD. He is exercise while supplementation of suicide. And it'll blow your mind. And of course,
it's on a DVD too, Doc.
It's what?
Thank you, AJ. It's on a DVD.
Oh, it's on a DVD.
Too,
okay.
so, yeah.
Very good. So it's a DVD and a CD, but that was the beginning of longevity. Okay, that all started.
Well, Dr. Wallach, I'm so glad that we are able to be part of what is continuing in sharing a message that gives hope. There's so many times, Dr. Wallach, where we're given this label, lose hope, thinking, okay, there's nothing I can do. I just need to go about and do my best and deal with it as everything progresses. Well, through your research, Dr. Wallach, you've proven that that's incorrect.
Yeah, and of course, again, when you're dealing with that many truth, you see, there's an unimpeachable truth, and I was very motivated to get this information out there, so I started writing scientific articles and submitting them to various journals and radio programs and things. And I was, as you say, I was on the road 300 days a year, okay, giving lectures all over the world, because I'm finding out things that all these great scientists and great universities were missing by a million miles, okay, because they believed in genetics. There are no genetically transmitted diseases. And I was able to prove this in thousands of different ways. In every disease, they thought they were genetic diseases or not. I was able to show the nutritional deficiencies that contributed to or actually caused these diseases. And it's made a difference in certain communities. Certain communities, it didn't make a difference because they just didn't want to believe it. They had their own ideas, and of course, it cost them their lives or a member of their family's lives.
Right. Well, Dr. Wallach, you talked a little bit about exercise. When we sweat, what are we sweating out? Is it just water?
No, it's not water. It's a soup. It's a soup of things that are in your blood. Okay. Same way when you urinate, it's not just pee. Okay. It's not just water that comes out of your urinary tract. Okay. Both sweat and urine contains nutritional minerals and vitamins and all kinds of stuff, amino acids, everything you can think of is good for you. That's in your blood, comes out through your kidneys and your urine, comes out through your sweat. And if you keep doing that, no matter how well you eat and you're sweating, exercising, and you're sweating 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day, guess what? You're in trouble. You're in trouble because in 1812, we went from wood and coal as fuel to electricity. And for thousands of ashes from our fires into our gardens as fertilizer, they didn't know why, but it contained minerals. Okay, same way in our drinking water coming from mountains, the glacial milk, they call it the land flowing with milk and honey. It looked like cow's milk to them. They didn't know how the cow's milk got in the mountains, but this cow's milk is coming down the sides of the mountains. It was just the rocks up in the mountains being scraped and crushed, okay, up in the mountains. And this streams going down the mountains, and they could see it from a half a mile away. They could see it from a mile away. They could see it from 2 miles away. These white streams of water coming down the sides of the mountains. And these were people, not always, because the minerals in glacial milk, in other words, you could have 3 minerals in there. You could have 5, you could have 18, you could have 25, you could have 40, you could have 50, you could have 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Well, the ones that only had 3 and 5 and 8 and 10 and 12 and 15, they still didn't do very well. But the ones who had 75 minerals or more, now we're talking in their drinking water, their cooking water, their bathing water, their irrigating water. Guess what? Now these are the people who live to be 120. These are the people who live to be 150. These are the people in the biblical days who are living 400 years and so forth. Okay, it's one of those things where you cannot deny this, okay, but it was not human milk. It was glacial milk.
Well, Dr. Wallach, a lot of people pay a lot of money for quote unquote mineral water. And a lot of athletes, they are very adamant about getting electrolytes. Is there a commonality between minerals and electrolytes?
Well, electrolytes are minerals. Okay, this is a bottle of our plant-derived minerals. Contains 90 minerals in it. 90 minerals. Okay.
I think there's 77 or 78, Doc, depending on which mine they're pulled from.
That's right.
So that's a good portion of the 90 essential nutrients.
That's right. And so it's one of those things where, like you say, we have 8 mines. We went around the world and bought 8 mineral mines that contain these plant minerals. As you say, some had 75 minerals, some had 85 minerals, some had 95 minerals, some had 110 minerals. Okay. And we are the only company that features these. We feature these minerals, and that's why we get a different result than everybody else. We get a different result than everybody else because we are providing things that the good Lord put on earth for us to use and maximize our health and longevity. And of course, the people back 100 years ago, 200 years ago, many of them died at 25. But for today, for people to die at 25, okay, it's because they really made bad choices. They're exercising. They think that exercise, okay, is what's going to help you live longer and healthier. Well, it contributes to health and longevity, okay, but it's not the primary benefit. The primary benefit is all the chemical nutrients we need, okay, to have every cell function properly, maximize its longevity, being able to defend itself against disease, whether it's a bacteria, fungus, yeast, whatever. And so these minerals are something extremely unique. Plants only need 3. Plants only need NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Plants can be happy with those 3 nutrients and the sunshine. They make their own vitamins. Plants make their own vitamins. Plants make those, see, they're carbon compounds, vitamins. Plants take the carbon dioxide out of the air, make vitamin A, all the B vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D. Plants make vitamins. They don't need to consume them. They don't need to suck them up by the roots because plants make them. Plants cannot make minerals. That's a limiting factor. And so where you find places where people lived a long time, okay? Invariably, they had plant-derived minerals from various sources, whether it was a glacier, whether it was annual floods, and when the water would recede, it left the silt with the minerals in it, and the farmers would plow that in, okay, their fields. And they were doing it the way everybody else did it, but everybody else may have only been getting 3 minerals, and you're getting 75. There's a difference between 3 and 75.
Statistically, there's quite a difference. Yes.
Yes. And of course, the result is quite a bit of difference too. The result is different. If you're just getting 3 minerals every day in your diet and your drinks, you're not going to last very long. You're going to be one of those that dies in their 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s without exercise. If you're exercising, you're going to die in your 20s because you're sweating out what few minerals you have. Okay. And so once you understand this, okay, you get the book, It's All in Your Head. You get the book, The Metabolic Syndrome. You get the book, The Truth About Nutrition. You get the book, Hell's Kitchen. You get the book, Let's Play Doctor. You get the book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Just like the then, of course, you have the epigenetics, rare earths and cures. All of these informational sources show you how you need these nutrients, okay? And of course, exercise without supplementation is suicide, okay? These books, and if you follow them properly and use the nutrients, okay, get all the nutrients. And I take them from about a dozen different sources, okay? I take them like this, and I mix them with Oxybody. I mix them with Cal Toddy. I mix them with cherry berry. I mix them with all kinds of minerals, okay? And I have that along with my meals. And I'm 85 years old, and most people think I'm in my 50s when they look at me. Where if you want to live to be at least 120 in a healthful way and be productive to your community and your family, be engaged with your family and your community, okay? And why not? You have the capacity to do this, but you're going to have to be engaged in making sure you're getting all the nutrients, you're avoiding all the bad stuff, and you can add 25 to 50 healthful years to your life. I'm just, remember, I'm a pathologist. I see the results, good and bad on the autopsy table. And so it's one of those things where it's unimpeachable evidence.
Well, Dr. Wallach, you found so much value, so much importance, so much significant evidence that minerals truly are like the currency of life. So much that the foundation of the products that you created, formulated with your formulators, called Longevity, used to be American Longevity, wanted to make it not quite so inclusive to America because we do have a heart for everybody around the world. But the foundation of those products include the plant-derived minerals. I know in the Rebound, there's 120 milligrams of the plant-derived minerals. In the Tangy Tangerine, where's it at? I think there's 300 milligrams of the plant-derived minerals. And in the plant-derived minerals, a full dose is 600 milligrams. So how many milligrams do you think, Dr. Wallach, a person should intake at a minimum per day?
Well, a minimum per day, I think that they need to take per 100 pounds of body weight. Let's go per 100 pounds of body weight. They need to take 1 ounce of the plant-derived minerals twice a day, plus all the other nutrients. Now, kids, okay, and of course, they're not going to take all this stuff, and they don't like the taste of some of it, although it tastes pretty good. And what I like for kids is Kids Toddy. Oh my gosh, Kids Toddy is so good. It's actually, in fact, I think I have a bottle here. Yeah, here we go. Kids toddy. I think this is a kids toddy.
Is that one Kids Toddy?
Yeah, this is a
Well,
kids.
that looks like it should be the Kids Toddy. Yep, there you go. So we've got a formula that is formulated for children as well. We've got a formula for teenage to adults, delivers the nutrients that the body needs. So now the products themselves aren't linked to any disease. But folks, when you go to places like PubMed.gov and you look up the research that is put into and published on certain nutrients and how they affect health positively or negatively, you're going to find research that proves that nutrition is important. And then when you come up with a company that has found those quality sources of these, and they synergistically formulate them into products that are easy to take, easy to digest, easier than anyone else to absorb, you've got a winner. So what you looking for, Doc?
I'm looking for a place to put this bottle.
Oh, just set it down on the floor next to you. It'll be good. You can get it later.
I got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so folks, as you're listening, think about it. Are you intentional in making sure that your body is getting what it needs? Because as Doc mentioned, when they started using damming up the rivers and using that hydro, it stopped that natural flow of minerals that goes into our farmlands. Plants cannot make minerals. It has to be in the soil. And think about it. If something is pulling minerals out of the soil through the roots, it's not a never-ending sleets, which is why we must be intentional on making sure that we are getting the nutrients, all the nutrients that the body needs to function. And through Dr. Wallach's research, he has made it simple for us to understand what are those essential nutrients, essential meaning we can't make them in most cases, that the body needs each and every day. So make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you and say, hey, I need my 90 essential nutrients. What do I need? How can I take it? Where do I order? And the best part about getting back with the person that shared this program with you, or getting back with one of our team, if you've not heard it from anywhere else, is the fact that you're getting support. Not only customer support, where we'll place orders for you and help you get on the right program, but that right program is very important. You get coaching that you're not going to get from any other retail outlet. You wanted to mention something?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that people know that they can get the CD, Exercise Without Supplementation is Suicide.
Absolutely.
They can call us, it's 1-800-755-4656, 1-800-755-4656, and get that CD and DVD. It's a CD and a DVD. Get whichever one you want. I like, yeah.
There's two forms of the lecture. Yes, one on CD, one on DVD. And they're both great, Doc.
Well, thank you. That particular lecture named so many of the famous athletes in the world that died in their teens, died in their 20s.
Yeah, Jim Fix being one of them. Who was a very well-known runner.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was 56 when he dropped. 56. The icon of health, an athlete, all of a sudden drops because of heart failure.
World ranked, world famous.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Wallach, we are here to help others not have to go through that. And we do have some questions coming in. In fact, one of them that's very much related to this. Lonnie has written in to questions@dailywithdoc.com, which folks, if you have questions that you would like to get Dr. Wallach's answers on, we are here for you. Again, that's questions@dailywithdoc.com. So Lonnie writes in, I am 63 years old, 137 pounds. I exercise regularly and lift weights as well. I follow a diet that you recommend. They fell from the rooftop and broke the pelvis in 2 places. They have fully recovered from the injury, but during that time, the blood pressure was higher and it was always had normal reading before. Blood sugar levels are fine. Both of these issues have gotten better. So 9 years ago, they had prostate removed. And then a year later, radiation, but the cancer came back. PSA at that time was very low. Keep getting checked. Dr. Wallach, this person also has some plaque built up in the arteries, according to the heart doctor. What would you recommend? So this person's very athletic, has had a fall that they've recovered from, thankfully. They have had prostate issues, so it is a man, because women, you tell me, don't have a prostate.
That's true.
And they're wanting to know how they can continue to have an active life. And the doctor, because of the plaque buildup in the arteries, the doctor is wanting to put them on statins, which they're not going to do. So Lonnie's a very smart person. What, Lonnie?
Lonnie. Okay. Okay, this is for Lonnie, 130 pounds. Needs to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bran, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Either that one's got to go. And on the back outside cover of the book, the metabolic syndrome, is the good food, bad food list. Okay? Good food, bad food list. And so there you go. So there's no doubt what you need to avoid and no doubt what you need to eat. And then at 130 pounds, because I have these problems in the history, I would go ahead and take 2 healthy brain and heart packs for a month, a full dose serving at breakfast, full dose serving at dinner time. Want them to use our Rebound. They can take our Rebound. There's 30 of these sticks in a box. I take 1 a day. I only weigh 40 pounds, 138 to 140 pounds, depending on what day it is of the week. Okay. And so put this into one of these classic bottles of water, and it will, I drink that during the day. And that's vitamins primarily, but it does minerals, okay? But there's no other supplement out there that has as many vitamins as Rebound has. There's no other supplement out there that comes in any kind of support like this that has all these minerals in it. Okay, so that's absolutely imperative. Then they need the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Keep blood flowing through blocked arteries. Keep blood flowing, whether it's in the brain, the heart, the kidneys. Get the kidneys working properly. Let it do its job. Then they need the I-26. I-26, I'd go ahead and take 2 or 3 servings a day of the I-26 for function. Okay, just think. The orchestrate all the activities of everything else in the body. So you want to make sure that the brain and the spinal cord are getting everything they need. You take the 90 essential nutrients, and it's one of those things where you cannot miss. Okay, by throwing in the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Okay, it's really great for the brain, the heart, the kidneys, and I love the French vanilla chewables. I take 2 or 3 of those at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sometimes I'll cut it down to 3 at breakfast or dinner time if I'm real busy in the middle of the day with lectures and stuff like that. Okay, but at any rate, it's one of those things where you have the ability to take as good care of yourself as you do your car. Everybody puts coolant in their car. Everybody puts oil in their car. Everybody puts grease in the bearings in the car. Everybody puts brake fluid in their car. Everybody puts transmission fluid in their car. Everybody puts the water in special windshield wiper fluid, and they wax the outside of the car to protect the paint. I mean, come on. People spend more time and energy taking care of their car than they take care of themselves.
They do. They do. And Dr. Wallach, for athletes, let's not forget that extra support for the joints in the product that you Gal, is one of my favorites for joints and support for joints. And it comes in.
Yeah, glucogel actually was made for Theo Ratliff, a great basketball player. The doctors wanted to replace a couple of his joints in his knees and his hips and so forth. I won't be able to play basketball anymore because it'll take my contract away. I'll just retire and see if I can coach or something. And so one of the other basketball players, okay.
He was one of the coaches.
Yeah, came and told him, hey, we need to see Doc Wallach, actually. And he actually was talking to another basketball player, heard that, and says, well, it helped me. And so we got Theo working on it. We regrew his knees, we regrew his hips. 3 months later, he gets $100 million in contracts and played for another 9.5 or 10 years, whatever it was.
Well, and that's absolutely fantastic. That is why Theo is on the outside packaging of the Rebound, and because he believed in it so much because of how it helped him. And so I know he is thankful for you, Dr. Wallach, very, very much. And folks, if you are not working with somebody and you want to get your 90 essential nutrients, including the Brain and Heart Pack, which includes the Tangy Tangerine, the Osteo FX, which comes in powder or liquid. The Glucogel also comes in capsules or liquid. The EFA Plus, that's your essential fatty acids, your omegas 3, 6s, and 9. The Brain and Heart Pack also includes an additional essential fatty acid called Ultimate EFA, which is a different combination of 3, 6, and 9 from different sources, and the Ultimate Selenium. So the Ultimate Selenium, Dr. Wallach, is more than just selenium. In fact, your research on selenium and the nutrients that are put in it got you this award, the Klaus Schwartz Award in 2011. So I think that is absolutely notable that people need to know about as well. But you can go to 90.dailywithdoc.com. That is 90.dailywithdoc.com. You'll see the different packages that include the 90 plus some secret sauces that you can pick for the one that best suits you, best meets your concerns. So like the Brain and Heart Pack, like the blood sugar pack, the digestion pack, the athletic pack, the bone and joint pack. There are different packs then at different price points as well to help meet your budget too. So Dr. Wallach, I'm so glad that your team thought about that, because where our health is important, a lot of people don't realize how important it is. And there's a lot of people that aren't able to invest in themselves as much as they should, especially after the breakdown has already started and that extra amount needs to be had. So we have questions, Dr. Wallach. We only have about 15 more minutes. We have is coming from one of the people here on Zoom with us, David. David wants to know how much honey, real natural honey, is what he's asking about. How much is acceptable according to you? Now, Dr. Wallach, you talk about the land flowing with milk and honey. Honey is something that God created that has been used since before biblical times. And it has some very good properties to it, especially when it's not been pasteurized and it's not filtered and you're getting the true natural stuff. What would you recommend as being an amount?
Okay, and honey also has trace minerals in it because the bees are getting the honey from flowers, and the flowers, take the minerals out of the soil and make honey. The good Lord came up with a system to attract bees to go eat the honey, but they're getting all these seeds and things and pollen on their legs, and then they go to the next flower and perpetuate that species of flowers. So that was kind of an interesting process that the good Lord came up with. Okay. And so we have honey in the house, and it's one of those things where I like to have my share of honey at breakfast time. I like to have it with my breakfast because it kind of ramps up your metabolism, ramps up your brain, ramps up your heart, ramps up your liver, and so forth. It's easily absorbed. You absorb a lot of it in your mouth and your esophagus, and it gives you energy as well as nutrition. It also gives you protection. Okay. It's one of those things where in the days before electricity, people were getting their defenses, okay, by putting the wood ashes and coal ashes into their gardens, into their food as a spice and so forth, and putting honey into their food as a spice. And so we were living with nature. We were living with what the basic foundations that the good Lord put together on earth. And then man came along with all of our various scientific
manufacturing and how to turn sugar beets into sugar and taking out all those minerals and making it white because it looked pretty. Yeah, there's a lot. We need to go back to honey. And I know in your pantry, we need to thank Dusty Backer and his wife, Pat, for the wonderful natural honey from their bees up in South Dakota. It is some good stuff. And you had mentioned something, Dr. Wallach, about the honey having protectant. Well, there are protectants in the sense of it being antibacterial, especially the propolis that can still be in the honey, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral.
Yeah.
Did I say it wrong?
You said propolis. It's propolis.
Thank you. Propolis. Propolis. All right. I got my learning lesson in for today. So just little bits though, Dr. Wallach, we don't need a whole bunch because it still affects our blood sugar, right?
That's correct.
So, and I know different types of honey from different air in those antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, including some honey that is known for being able to use it topically, which I think all of it you can use topically with benefit, but some even has more benefits that can be used topically as well, not just internally to sweeten our sweet tooth or satisfy our sweet tooth. So Doc, let's go to AJ, who has his hand up, and I know he has a question coming in from our audience. AJ, go ahead and unmute yourself. What question do you have for Dr.?
Hello, Dr. Wallach and Becca. I have a number of questions, and you have to pardon me. Doc, get your pen ready. But first, I just wanted to make a comment about today's show topic. It's near and dear to my heart, why I joined your crusade. There are many athletes who died too young from cardiomyopathy. Reggie Lewis, Jason Collier, Zeke Upshaw, Joe Kennedy, baseball player, Damian Nash, football player, Mark Vivian, Flo Hyman, Sergey Grinkov, Pete Maravich, Jim Fix, as Becca mentioned, just too many to name. 25,000 every year, you know, this we need to keep getting the word out.
Thank you for that. Thank you. That was a good summary.
Doc, Teresa, one of our health coaches, is online with us. She's a lady who's fighting cancer, who is on chemo. Blood test showed the B12 vitamin is high. She's taken a number of supplements. Teresa is a very good health coach and knows the routine. What could she do about the high B12?
Okay, you need more liver activity. Okay, more muscle activity. So, some low impact exercise, just taking a nice slow walk around the house. I walk 3 miles a day, minimum. I never do less than 3 miles a day. Okay, and I do that as 1 mile, and then maybe an hour later do another mile, another hour later I'll do another mile, and so forth. When I'm in a hurry, sometimes I'll do all 3 miles, one right after the other. But remember, I'm 85 years old, and I do 3 miles a day, and for my exercise in my lower body. But I can, even though I've had a shoulder injury from an accident up in Canada some years ago, I can still do, 20 push-ups 2 or 3 times a day. And so you're constantly doing something that's making all the systems work, whether it's the nerves, the blood vessels, the arteries, the veins, the tendons and ligaments, the skin, your digestive system, the heart and the arteries and veins. It's all these things are designed to make us be able to do what we need to do to proliferate and be around for a long time. The good Lord gave us the capacity to live well beyond 100, well beyond 100. All you have to do is look at the information in the land flowing with milk and honey back in the Old Testament, the Old Bible, and it gives you people who live to be 120 and longer. Okay, we have people today who live to be 120. Jean Calment from France, she died at 100, and I think it was 122 and 164 days, something like that. Okay, and so it's one of those things. We have the capacity to live that way. Why would you be happy with 28 years? Why would you be happy with 36 years? No, 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 no. You want to be with your family. You want to be with your loved ones. You want to be able to do what you can do for your community and enjoy life with your friends and relatives. And so you have to take care of yourself, just like you take care of your car, take care of your house. You need to take care of yourself as well as you take care of your car and your house. This is an endless procedure. And again, I would get that, we have a CD and a DVD. Okay, and it's one of those things where exercise without supplementation is suicide. And so, because in the old days, if you wanted to eat, you had to exercise. You had to be able to run down and chase down the animals you're going to catch and eat, but you didn't have 2,000 years ago that would shoot us 100 yards away, right? So you had to run them down. And so people say, well, how could he do that? Well, he's drinking this stuff over here. He's eating this stuff over here. And people began to pay attention to people who are very successful with their health and function and being able to hunt successfully and provide food for me. And so they learned, they watched them. What are they eating? What are they drinking? What are they doing? And so this is how all this information became accumulated and put together. And people, entrepreneurial people would put together packages, okay, so people could get the stuff that they needed to perform.
Thank you, Doc. Second question from Aaliyah on YouTube. She has a 71-year-old male who's 5'5" and 168 pounds. A number of issues here: cataracts in both eyes, dry eyes, vertigo, constant inflammation in the ears, type 2 diabetes, dry nose, nasal congestion, and polyps in the nose, kidney and gallbladder stones, itchy skin, ringing in the ears, constant use of the bathroom at night, fatigue, anxiety. What can we help this gentleman with, who has been talked to about the good foods and the bad foods, and is on 4 different drugs for diabetes and cholesterol?
Okay, this guy has a metabolic syndrome. Okay, he needs to get a hold of the book, Metabolic Syndrome. Okay, and then he needs to also get a hold of the book, It's All in Your Head. And he needs to get the one that comes in a package, and the package has a CD in it. The CD covers the spinal cord, and the book, It's All in Your Head, covers the 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Okay, and so this guy Needs to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no bar, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even the diet. Then he needs, at 166 pounds or 168 pounds, whatever it was, he needs to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. He needs the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. I'd have him get 2 bottles a month, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. All right. And he also needs to take some sweeties, take 3 of those twice a day for his diabetes. And let's see here, the vertigo, that has to do with the 7th and 8th cranial nerves being squeezed, all this eye stuff. Okay, he needs the I-26 to rebuild the myelin in the brain and spinal cord. The optic nerve, people forget, are formed in the brain, go through to the back of the eyes. And the weight of the optic nerves are like 50–60% myelin, like the white matter of the brain and spinal cord. So that's very important. And then, of course, we have the Vision FX. You can take 3 of those twice a day. That'd be 2 bottles a month. Occutiv, you can take 2 bottles a month and take 3 twice a day of Occutiv. And this is, the guy's got a lot of stuff, so he needs a lot of stuff. But get a hold of those books, and that will guide him and show him all the research and so forth, so that not just some idiot coming up with some nonsense. Okay?
That was amazingly comprehensive, Doc. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your help in helping all these people. We appreciate you and respect you for all the help you give people in our community. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, AJ and Doc. We have time to squeeze in one more. And TC, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Doc, Ocean's Gold yesterday delivered for my mother. I talked to you last week about that, about a possible thyroid problem. And I was also reading in your epigenetics book that copper is a necessary cofactor for utilizing iodine. And I know that the Ocean's Gold has 500 milligrams of iodine, and what she's taken, only the Beyond Tangy Tangerine has the copper, which is 1.5 milligrams. And I know that women needs 3.5 milligrams per day, generally. So I'm wondering, is that sufficient? Is the Ocean's Gold sufficient enough, or is she going to need more copper?
Well, we also, we have, which I say, the Ocean's Gold. I take 3 of those twice a day, the Ocean's Gold for thyroid. But I take my plant minerals. Okay, I take my plant minerals twice a day. And I also take the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. I take the Healthy Brain and Heart Packs, which has copper in it.
Yeah, she's taking those, yeah.
Yeah, it's got copper in it.
There's copper also in the Ultimate Selenium
There you go.
So-
And selenium has copper in it as a cofactor.
as well. So
In the selenium?
in
Yeah,
the
cofactor.
it's a cofactor.
Or in the selenium, okay. Okay, so that would be sufficient enough for her then, right? Okay,
Yes.
good enough. I just wanted to know. Okay.
Great
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on and asking. All right, Dr. Wallach, hey, we are coming up to the top of the hour. I just want to thank you, Doc, as my co-hosts are coming onto the screen with us, for all that you have done for the sake of helping others, Dr. Wallach. I mean, you tirelessly, you don't give up. You don't give up. You are always researching and looking things up and wanting to write another book and just wanting to find the answers to people's questions and making it so that it's easy for them to obtain answers based on real research. And I just thank you, Dr. Wallach, for all that you do and for being here with us a week, Wednesday, Thursday, on the Daily with Doc, as you are the original doc of Daily with Doc and Becca. And you're just awesome. We appreciate you so much.
Well, thank you for all the kind words. Thank you for the team. Thank each and every one of you. It's a blessing. I mean, even God has a team, okay? And so I can't thank you enough for being our team with longevity. And it's one of those amazing things. When we help thousands of other people a day around the world, the good Lord sees that. The good Lord, that we're helping people
Yes.
around the world. And then don't
And
forget that CD and DVD. Exercise without supplementation is suicide.
yes, thank you, Dr. Wallach. And I just got a message from Harry down in Australia saying blessings to all. Teresa in California saying thank you so much, Dr. Wallach, Becca, and the team. You know, we are reaching a lot of people, Dr. Wallach, and I know how much they also appreciate being able to plug in, as we have a number of people here on the Zoom live with us, which folks, if you're watching a replay or watching the live stream and you would like to join us live, and you are in just being, you know, that good steward of your own health and in helping others, you are welcome to join us by going to withdoczoom.com. That is Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. There are times where we do take vacation, but for the most part, we're here pretty consistent. So I want to do a special thanks to our team. Today we have Albert down in South Africa helping to let people in and keeping an eye on stuff for us. We have Marilyn, who, if you're here live with us in the Zoom, you'll see her amazing work as she does dictation and putting in the recommendations and emphasizing things that are being said that Dr. Wallach speaks throughout, including the description of the question and Dr. Wallach's recommendations. She does a fantastic job putting that in the chat. Thank you, Marilyn. We have AJ, who is instrumental and a big part of why we are on all the different platforms that's reaching around the world. And he's also watching those platforms and bringing questions in from the platforms as we have time. And we have Ruth Ellen Sanchez, my executive production manager, who is helping with making sure that the broadcast goes out. So there's a lot that goes into putting on a production like this, folks, where I could not do it myself. I tried it and we made it, things work, but not in the way that we're able to make it work now. And it's so much less stressful for me now. So I can get rid of, you know, some of this gray hair here. But thank you, Ruth Ellen, for all that you do in keeping us organized. And most of all, I again want to say thank you, Dr. Wallach. Thank you for giving us all a purpose greater than ourselves.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you, team. The entire team is to be blessed. The entire team, we cannot thank you enough. As you say, one person can't do this. We're talking about worldwide. We're talking about how many billion people in the world, right? And
That's
so
right.
between people and animals and the earth itself, we have lots of work to do. And this will be forever. This will be a forever task.
Yep. Well, Dr. Wallach, we have many years to come. So thank you again. And for all of you that have joined us or watching this program as a live or replay, let us know that you're watching the live or watching the replay. And also let us know where it is in this beautiful world that you are watching from. And most of all, share it with somebody else. If you'd like to get in contact with a certified holistic health coach, you've never spoken with anybody before, you want to find out what is needed to help to turn some things around that you may be going through, get back with the person and share this program with you. If there's no one to thank, give us a call at 855-949-3377. And most of all, if you have a heart for others and you want to share hope with others, feel free to give us a call and say, hey, I want to know how I can have more purpose in my life and be part of the team. Again, that's 855-949-3377. If you prefer email, use info@dailywithdoc.com and write us a note about what it is or how you see yourself as being part of our team. We thank you so much again for being here with us, and we will see you tomorrow on Pharmacist Friday with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs, same time, same place, 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time on dailywithdoczoom.com. Until next time, bye for now. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.